sorry, Team Liquid rather, 7-1 against Echo Fox. It's 4-4 currently.
Yep.
And now the final ban here from the side of Liquid. What will they decide? Looking at who? Looking at Phoenix, maybe looking at Apollo to start. Still some top lane love to be given now.
There's things like Lucian, Ezreal, Yasuo, and even Cassiopeia that I think are ban-worthy right now. LeBlanc is another one that can jump up there if you're afraid of the specific LeBlanc player in general.
Right.
But I feel like those are kind of the bans that will cycle around. The Yasuo is the other one too, but that's so interesting, not allowing Phoenix or Solo to have that, and also can be played bottom lane.
Jensen's heating up already, getting ready for the game. He says, oh, they ban Yasuo. Spice up this next play. Lucian does get banned out. You made that call, so Echo Fox will put him on the bench. Ezreal probably for double lift, a safe laning phase, but also a laning phase they need to build up in. So it could be a little bit later of a game here for Team Liquid, waiting on 10 seconds to lock that one.
Yep, going to be kind of a no-brainer there with the Lucian banned away. And so the Ezreal is the pickup here for double lift. We'll see if Apollo has something he wants to play into it. The Draven is the typical counter. You might want to take away something like the Tom Kench, but not so much against Core JJ. This guy is known for his engages, for his snap plays, not as much for his defensive kind of capabilities, even though his Rakan is fantastic at that.
Interestingly enough, Double's first Ezreal as well. He had 3 silver games recently, and Lucian and Xayah besides that, so he will be slinging spells this time, a champion he knows very well otherwise. Kai'Sa and Braum, a great bot lane here for Apollo and Hakuo to put up some offense as well, and Sylas is locked in for Team Liquid.
I am so happy about this.
Let's go.
I absolutely love Sylas. I haven't got to cast a game of him just yet. And so I always look at the ultimates on the other team.
Yeah,
see what
that's what I'm
in.
saying. You have one you really want to use right now?
Not yet, not yet. But that don't matter to me.
We'll see. Ken's getting locked in over here, most likely for the side of Team Liquid. Super safety for double lift, so he can do even more tricks. And Phoenix, rising from the ashes, what will he decide to lock in for the team? Looks like we have a top laner and your bot lane so far, so maybe Solo's lock in here so he does not get pinched out.
Depends on what he wants to play up in that top lane. We'll see. Or they go for something like a jungler, since you can get priority jungle, since the only thing that's banned away is really Nocturne.
Yeah.
And the Jace, you can't take away a good ulti from Jace, so they're going to go for the counter pick here against him. As one of the big counter picks is you get to constantly poke him down, try to whittle him down, and then when he steals your ultimate, he gets to use 1 round of your spells.
So what do you get, resistant? Oh, okay.
No, he gets to use 1 round of your spells. And I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it's just the melee form since he swaps into hammer form based on which one it is, I think. Ooh. So it's the whatever ultimate he currently has available to him.
That's too conditional. That feels so weird. So you stay away from him.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you get to like QWE and go through the whole rotation, but I think it's just hammer form.
Dang, too bad you don't have like Rek'Sai's in here right now. Actually, that's not too bad at all. It just doesn't go to the portal. You can actually attack people with it as for updates. So final bans here. The side of Team Liquid. First, second phase ban is Kindred. Taken away from Rush, so he can't be as aggressive. Recently, we've seen Rush on that Jarvan, Lee Sin, Gragas, Nocturne, if you go back 4 games. And now a final ban from Echo Fox.
We'll see what they end up going for here. Bans towards the mid lane could ban Zoe. Get rid of the LeBlanc.
That's a good ban. I like Zoe. There's Jarvan.
Okay. Making sure that they're just pinching the jungle a tiny bit.
Sandra's still there if they want to get it for Phoenix. He's had pretty good times on that. Orianna as well. Not the Orianna comp they may want to throw that into. 5 seconds here as they discuss Syndra is going to be taken away, actually. Very interesting. Must be something scrims are just strong Phoenix play, as we have not seen him bring that onto the Rift this spring split. 17 seconds here. Now we'll see what Echo Fox can round this composition out with. If you had kind of to say one thing, well, there's the damage. What would now round it out for Hakuo to pick in for this team? I guess you're looking for your jungler. Yeah,
you're looking for your jungler here. It could be the Rush Lee Sin. I don't know if he would go for Karthus up against the Sylas. Also, this is another bad Sylas ultimate to steal. He doesn't really like stealing Zoe's ultimate. He just goes one place to another. So there's not really any good ultimates here for him to steal besides the Braum. And I do have to kind of go back and correct something, is that when you steal Jace's ultimate, it's not the hammer form, it's the cannon form that you steal.
That feels better.
So you get the QWE there. So that does definitely feel better.
That feels super good.
And I think it's the one where it turns. I think there's like a bug.
Do you get those resistances as well? That's movement speed and stuff.
I don't know if you get that from like swapping forms,
right.
but I think you. I think that's tied to his passive.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you get
right,
his passive at the same time. But there are some ultimates that are coded that way. For example, Kennen, even though the Mark of the Storm is the passive, you still apply Mark of Storms and stun people with the ultimate. So
has to. Yeah,
you get the cannon form and all of that. I think there's a bug with it that if you buy Tiamat and you transform into Jace, then you no longer can use your Tiamat for the rest of the game. So, but it's not even a common item for Sylas. So it's not really a big deal.
So thinking of the Orianna for Fox, I didn't even put it in the composition for Team Liquid. They decide to lock that one in, and it looks great with all the engage that they have. And Rush goes and locks in the Zac this time around. So Echo Fox really switching things up here as they come into the composition of Week 5, Day 1.
So looking at Echo Fox here, Solo talked about it in his interview on Sunday, where he was like, well, the reason we lose Saturday games, if I had to put my finger on it, was, we try some new things, and it's like, well, we go a little bit out of comfort, and then when we lose on Sunday, we go, oh, well, it's time for comfort. We got to go hard on this. And right now, Echo Fox, this is a bit of like Solo has top lane priority, or he should. They have kind of equivalent junglers in terms of pressure. This mid lane will be very interesting to see Phoenix on this Zoe and see what he's able to do. But across the board, it looks like it's relatively even laning-wise for both these teams. I want to watch that top lane in particular, though, because Solo on this Jace, I got an NA Jace itch right now today, and I don't know if it's being scratched yet.
We'll have to see. I actually, looking back at the stats I have here for each of those Saturdays. First Saturday was Sion, Corki, Karthus. Next Saturday was the Aatrox, Jace AD carry, Ornn, Risley, Sand. So yeah, those Saturdays do seem pretty experimental for them, interestingly enough. They also have the only Varus on the Saturday, first day of Week 4. So
that was the Wiz Fusion special.
That was the Wiz Fusion special. Things we remember. And so we will see Team Liquid loading up onto the Rift versus Echo Fox here. Can they rise from the flames in the mid lane? Will Phoenix have a good game for himself, giving Rush the time to run around the map and help everyone else out? It's kind of been that composition where if Rush can just get a few kills in the early game, he can become Rush again. He becomes the mean boy. Kind boy's left behind, and he carries. But will Team Liquid let that happen? It's going to be tough. 7-1 versus 4-4 as we head out to the Rift.
And I am ready for this one. TL coming in after losing to TSM. You know they're going to come in ready for this match. And Echo Fox, well, they said they experiment on Saturday. On Sunday, that's usually when they serious up. But you know TL is serious for this one.
That is right. And if you are looking for a way to rep your favorite team, the LCS merch store is now live. Grab your official jersey for the Kind Boy or Doublelift or any LCS player at lcsmerch.com. And that's a reminder, We Are Nations are running a sweepstakes where one lucky viewer will win a trip for 2 to the LCS finals in St. Louis. So for more than that info, check out wearenations.com. But for now, keep your eyes fixed to the game.
And you can also customize the jersey as well. Put your gamer tag on the back. Get a TSM Jat if you want.
TSM Jat? Oh, Jat, no more.
Yep. That's why we can make that joke
He still beautifully affects our game. Not this time, though. Lissandra will not be played, both in the wheelhouse of Jensen and Phoenix, but not in this composition per se. Relics for the bot side, stay healthy. Might get a little fighting in the early game as we've got Doran's Ring versus the Doran's Blade. And we'll see what Apollo on Kaisa and Hakuo on Braum can do for that bot lane versus Doublelift's Ezreal and Core JJ's Tom Kench.
Something that I want to keep track of here is Solo doesn't have an Aerie for like early poke and just making sure that he's dealing damage in this matchup against Impact. Instead, he's got the Klepto. So he's going to go for things like popping the W, getting all those shots in. Remember, it's 2 shots since the rework of Klepto. So even just changing forms gets you the activation, and even accelerating gate, and then walking at the person, hitting them twice. So we'll see what Solo ends up doing and how much gold he can get in this matchup. Because Sylas doesn't thrive too much, but he does wave clear once he casts spells, right? The passive sometimes works against you when you're not trying to full wave clear.
Yeah.
But I feel like Solo not being really aggressive here just yet. Got himself a bag of gold, though.
Waiting on it. Impact getting a little hits in. Also has to put himself in that dangerous spot. There's a little bit of damage from Solo as he tries to get a minion damage in. But you're right, there's no autos coming from the range mode. He's not trying to threaten the attack. He's really focusing on CS right now.
I'm surprised Apollo didn't get that final auto there on Core JJ. It looked like it was going to be one more for the stun. And Impact's got that shove going on the top side, though, on the opposite. And Smithy,
yeah,
he's going red scuttle to scuttle, and because they have priority top side with the wave clear of Silas,
Perfect.
they're going to secure this and make sure that the scuttle is theirs, that they have vision on the red buff, too. And this is going to kind of, honestly, suck a bit for Rush here, because he's going to be spotted for the rest of his topside clear after this Raptor.
And this is really great play as well, because even Zale was saying it before, we saw Smithy not having enough people around him, trying too many things early, and right away he's given more agency with Impact in top lane, and they get more things from him to start getting him going. Lee Sin did not work out in their loss, and that's when they fell behind versus Cloud9 last week. Oh, I'm sorry, versus TSM, thank you.
Yeah, and I don't know, it's so funny to me though, because he lost to a Sejuani. So Smithy has played the Lee Sin, the Gragas, the Kha'Zix, and he's like, you know what? I lost to Sejuani. Let's play that again.
We're going back.
He goes back to it. And if Solo pushes with this wave, because it is pushing,
no bad memories here. Arctic Assault, beautiful job on To the Skies. That deleted a bit of Solo's distance. They lock him down. A little bit of damage. The burn is there, but the heal is on from the Corrupting Potion. And Solo stays alive.
Solo, I feel like he gets picked on more than any top laner in the NALCS.
That you are not wrong. I'm right there with you.
It even happened to him last week, I believe against 100 Thieves, where it was just like, oh, wait, everybody's up here on my side. I'm Malphite. And then he ends up having dives kind of turned around. Everybody kind of picks on Solo, and he doesn't get a lot of resources, but picking the Jace, it feels like he should be getting resources here. They don't have an aggressive jungler, but Smithy is making a little bit better work of the pressure that Impact had, and Rush is now, I would say, a little bit behind in the pressure department.
Rush thinking he might be able to get a counter gank here instead of finish that Krog. Smithy, nowhere near, however, so go back. Well, keep himself going.
The Cannon Minion's going to help out that trade a bit. It's been Jensen and Phoenix going blow for blow in the mid lane. Both their potions are completely gone now. And Smithy went for a full cycle clear here, hasn't backed yet. Rush, on the other hand, has actually backed and got himself a Bomby Cinder.
Good pressure, Smithy towards the bottom. He gets a little help from Core JJ as him and Doublelift are pushed up on the bot side. Oh. Good denial clear. Jensen doesn't have much mana though, and if they see that, they may try to go on him.
He wants to fight this, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Without Jensen having mana, can he get the other one off? Good pop onto Smithy. Flash over from Phoenix. A silence over the wall. He's going to be drowsy. That's the attack. Phoenix coming up big. Great help from Rush to start that one off.
Yeah, Jensen was hanging around with no mana. Phoenix had that advantage from earlier because I believe he got handed a blue buff off of something.
Oh, hello.
That must just come off the kill or something there.
Rush is getting pretty personal here as he starts pushing Jensen down the bot side. We're going to replay that exactly what happened. As soon as they saw Jensen's mana bar, they were, let's go, all in.
Yeah, it was Smithy running around with the blue buff, so he didn't have that before the kill happened, but Phoenix is going to be able to chase. The thing about flashing away from a Zoe is she's always going to pick up your flash too if she's going to chase you. And this one, it's not even coming down to that. Right here, he sees, oh, wait a second. He has almost nothing going for him. Lands the Q to slow. Interrupts Smithy's Q, so Smithy doesn't have Q to get over this wall, and then it's just going to be a boop. Nice pickup there, and he made sure it went over to Phoenix. So as much as they flame each other on Twitter, they still know how to play the game and give over the kill.
They're ready to keep it aggressive too. Mert treads by for Phoenix into 2 rings. He gets those biscuits stacking up as well, so he keeps the mana topped off with his potions. Great job to start for him. And Phoenix has been a bright light for this squad if he can get going. His mechanics are really up there, and we don't get to see him very often because the team is always playing from a back position.
Oh, and Impact. Go after Solo with no flash here.
You hit, slow him down. One last E locks him into place. And do they have enough damage this time? Changes
hit him with the EQ.
Oh, just missed it. With the stolen ultimate, and Impact's going to use that one up.
What happens when there's 2 NA Jace in the top lane?
Then nobody misses. It's like watching Stormtroopers. Missing left and right.
He's going to stay in this form for as long as he can. Let me just chill out here. Aw. Swap back.
Oh, one more.
Man, it looks like we're getting that extra scratch there from the NA Jace.
Yeah, you needed it, and you're getting it double time now.
I'm already satisfied with the way that's been going. And you can see the Executioner's calling first buy here to make sure that Impact doesn't get that massive amount of healing from the Kingsbane over and over again.
It's pretty scary, actually. Come in, that dive, you're like, what's this fool do? Oh, he's full health.
Yeah,
that hurts.
It's alive. Maxed first, or the Kingslayer, sorry. It's maxed first.
Right.
when it just gets this massive amount of HP back. It's like 240 plus when you're below the threshold of 50%, I believe, or 40-ish. Yeah. So you just end up healing for a massive amount, and that's why a lot of people will go semi-tank on him. We'll see what he goes for here. I don't know if he's going to go for the Ninja Tab first, or if he's going to go for the Iceborne Gauntlet, which I've seen kind of go back and forth on. Top laners, their builds are all over the place. Iceborne Gauntlet, Spirit Visage for the extra healing, so they have both resistance, some HP. Mid laners, a Silas build is like Rod of Ages, and then whatever the heck you want. Rod of Ages, Spirit Visage, very good in the mid lane against other...
just do damage with other people's ults.
Yeah, against other people who have magic damage, but against this Jace, Seeker's Arm Guard. Ooh, okay. I really like that one, because it means that he's not going to sacrifice kind of picking up AP for tankiness. He's going to go for both of them early here, and that's like a tech buy. Just like the Executioner's Calling is. Right here, there's a gank coming in from Rush. He wants to get on core JJ.
Great help still has there. Flash. Remember, there's no heal coming in from Double Lift. That's a teleport on the marksman. They might have enough damage. 300 HP for JJ, and Double Lift wants to fight back now. Few hits onto Rush, but that passive will keep it tricky for them to take him down, and they can definitely start to chase here. They got a bit of vision in the brush. He easily has the chance to get the safety behind minions, but it was scary once he got Winter's Fight there. You can still get the hits with Apollo.
Yep, and now on the top side of the map, because Rush is playing to the bottom, means that that red buff is going to go over to Xmithy. That you also see Jensen has shoved in the mid lane and kind of going off to the side there. Make sure that they can get some pressure on the top. And Xmithy, he's got ulti. He may go, once again, avoiding the pink ward. He's going to go after Solo. Solo's getting picked on again.
Xmithy's had something in mind. When he finishes a camp, he's heading to lane. Already to head in CS, already been to this lane multiple times. Rinse and repeat onto Solo, and another kill coming through. That one goes to the jungler.
And this Jace has just been picked on so much here. This Silas is going to thrive very heavily in this top lane. Even in CS, you pick the Jace to have a winning matchup, and it just has not been there right now. And Phoenix...
Big bada boom. Oh, the little bada.
Nah. Yeah, he didn't have enough time. The Q was on cooldown. Didn't have time to throw it and have it take that really long trip. So pretty low on the damage there. Still a lot.
Ooh. Feels good to have blue buff on Orianna. You can really start dancing around with those abilities, but you have to watch where you're placing yourself. Phoenix seems to be hitting those drowsies, hitting the damage. Very healthy in lane, giving Jensen a hard time. Clears that one out safely. Keeps him at turret, though, as they keep getting cleared. Jensen doesn't have a chance to get back here. He's sitting on anything extravagant. No, just about 720.
Yeah, not too much for him. Doesn't have the boots, too, just yet. Whereas Phoenix is buying the boots. Make sure that he survives Sejuani.
Oh, good flash. Nice counter by Xmithy to be there on time. Ultimate's out. Doesn't hit, but it will slow. Follow through. Shockwave comes in, and that's going to be the hits. Rush, not enough damage as well, and it's just a little bit. It seems like TL is reaching for these and not able to get successful kills.
Yeah, and Jensen, he had the cleanse to potentially get out of the bubble and maybe deal some more damage to Rush after the Shockwave, like autos or maybe move the ball again, but he was drowsy. He wasn't going to come back up after that. And just decided to let it kind of ride out.
Really good thinking there by Xmithy, knowing Jensen was going to get attacked again by Rush. There's been a lot of mid lane hover this game. I think we'll see a little bit more.
It's been an interesting game to have a Silas and Jace up against each other in the top lane, because it really hasn't been about this lane for the Jace. It's been about it for the Silas and the gank assistance he has with the dash and the chain. And the bottom side has kind of been what Fox has leaned towards, bottom and mid, because Phoenix, he's honestly been performing so well this split. Across the board, his stats look really good. He's been the consistent member, and speaking of which...
This is the one, not this one, maybe? Nope. Yep. There's a heal. He's like, I have the heal, I could go in, but he's playing it smart.
Yeah, just went for the cleanse there from Jensen and then walked away, but it's still Phoenix pushing Jensen out of mid. I remember TL against TSM, they were talking about how having Jensen on that mid lane pressure, usually he's used to having this pressure. Orianna's a big comfort pick for him. Remember back when he had to blind pick his champion about 2 years ago over and over again. It was like, all right, Orianna, almost every single time. It's the comfort pick for him when he doesn't know what he's playing into. And so here, he was making sure that he has comfort, but honestly, this champion for Phoenix is just so powerful, and he's able to just push him out. And this gives them pressure that Fox can kind of work with here.
It is as well. And to speak to Jensen a little bit, we heard Bjergsen kind of saying in his most recent interview that that was definitely a different Jensen that I played against. Wasn't as aggressive, played kind of safe for lane.
Jason
Didn't
Jace!
try to get the kills, and that is the Jason Jace action adapter shield coming through. For Magic, I should say, he's going to be safe for now, and now Rush finding himself in a peculiar position. He'll be locked up mid-jump and knocked down. They're taking down that Zon efficiency right now, and that will be Jensen's first kill. That's huge for having a pushback lane the entire time. He gets something really good there.
Yeah, that's because Phoenix was back. Phoenix was back in base,
yeah.
And so it's just desynced back timers. And Jensen able to get the roam there, able to help take out Rush, gets the kill, so that'll help him out a lot in this matchup.
Boom, McSmithy feeling good about this game so far. Ones across the board for him has been able to participate in quite a few things on the map. 100% to be correct. As Phoenix takes this chance to say they're backing, we need to get some forward wards in and reset the map just a bit here. 13 minutes in.
Yeah, another thing I didn't notice earlier was that Jensen has phase rush here, so it's not the area that'll just give him a little bit, extra in terms of damage and shielding. Just went for the phase rush for some movement speed. Don't know if that was intentional. I haven't paid too close attention to Oriana's, who maybe he wants to just walk out of the bubble or walk away from, slow a little bit better. That or it was his Cassiopeia runes, who knows? Probably better for kiting.
It could definitely be better for kiting. Think of it, because usually
get those autos in.
You're dissonant someone, so you slow them already. So movement speed keeps you there, and that's usually what regains your ball range, so you already have them slowed. But yeah, if you're going faster, why the hell not?
It's definitely not bad.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, the more I like it, because you can get those autos in, you can get that ball placement, and if you're moving faster, not gonna kill it.
That was close.
If you're moving faster, you're gonna stack up your loot and Zeko a little bit faster too.
Yeah.
So overall, I think it's fine.
Good synergy. Ultimate there for Silas if he does want to get in for the hit. There's one shot.
Oh, wait!
It's all right. NA Jason.
Wait, can they use each other's acceleration gates in this?
Oh my word. That would be something else. Smithy over the wall. They clear a bit of vision top, and he hits for a rift.
I don't think they can use
They're trying to see if they can get any vision out of that and say, did they care that we hit Rift Herald? Impact's heading in. Oh wow.
All right, so they see that he has his red buff,
Nice
and he already cleared it. And Impact, though, with that pressure in this matchup is just pretty much all Impact from start to finish here. Up in CS on this Silas. Looks like he went for the tech item of picking up the Seeker's Arm Guard, as Solo went for the tech item of the Executioner's Calling. And now he's going for the Proto Belt, one of the standard items that has tankiness, CDR, to kind of increase your tankiness with being able to use Kingslayer over and over again.
I'm actually really loving these compositions and the way they have to itemize against each other so far. It definitely makes for some interesting fights because you got a bit of damage coming through in that defensive build. So.
You're running around with like a Kaisa that has Blade of the Ruined King instead of like the old school, like the Stormrazor. Now it's changed over to this because you want to survive laning phase and scale. Saw some IE for a bit, but now it's more of this going for on-hit builds.
Doublelift faring quite well in that first Ezreal play of the split on the LCS stage. Doesn't seem to bother him at all. 500 gold bounty for him as he's up just about 15 CS on his opponent. As Rush heads back towards the bot lane. And Apollo and Hako have been living under this turret quite a bit for the lane. We've seen poor JJ have agency to roam and get with Xmithzy when they need to. Solo seeming to fare pretty well in this lane now that Impact can't get those big heals in as much as he would want to under that 40%.
Oh, man. The thing about the Silas ultimate too is it cools down. Hold on, wait, they're going on Doublelift. They get one more shot.
Talked about the roaming. We talked about the disjointed backs or not being with your AD, and that's when the team needs to attack. Great job by Echo Fox to pinpoint Doublelift alone. On the top side now, Solo's going hard on the Impact, trying to get out of this fight. Looks like he will be good as they're a little too close to the turret. Nice heal by Impact, but he cannot go back in toe-to-toe with Solo just yet. Fights across the map. We're heating things up at 16 minutes.
Yeah, and that's going to be that bottom lane getting some damage on that turret. Poor JJ had left and made sure that he was trying to get some wards in the jungle. And that's kind of the moment where they say it's time to go on Doublelift. They get his flash too, so he's trying to make his way to core.
Making the lick stick on that one. Smithy's there. Doublelift's teleport is halfway up from cooldown, so they won't be able to do too much, but it looks like they might try. Jensen's on a slow roam down. He has the forward push onto Phoenix, so he'll get there first.
They're delaying back so much.
Yeah, Phoenix trailing with this Zoe could be dangerous if Echo Fox come around the corner, but it looks like Jensen and the team do get a bit of a map advantage on this, and we'll see how they work the vision.
This is so interesting that Phoenix, he's just running around with things like, oh, he's got the heal instead of the cleanse versus the Sejuani because he didn't want it. And now he has to take the Merc treads, so he's just like running around with this heal, trying to find fights that he can actually just kind of catch people off guard with it, because it is a big advantage in one-on-ones. But right here, Hakuo, nice Q. And then it's just, all right, W to him, Blade of the Ruined King slow, and the auto allows him to ulti. Rush picks up the kill, though. So a big yoink there from the jungle Zac.
Don't worry, your marksman doesn't need that, right?
Yeah, but if this Zac just gets so much in terms of magic resistance, this will be a very hard game for TL to win. Silas' magic damage, Sejuani has a lot of magic damage, the Orianna, same thing with that. And Zac loves having magic resistance. He's going to build Spirit Visage almost every time, even in some games where you have like, oh, an all AD comp with like one person does some magic damage, you're like, all right, I got Spirit Visage, like fourth item.
It feels nice in those games when you don't have to go Ninja Tabi into something else, so you can double down on the tenacity, on your magic resistance. Here's the fight once again. Solo will get right in your face with that minion wave coming up just behind him. A nice shot. His impact goes down to 300 HP. Not a diveable HP for Solo, but he is definitely going to stay in Impact's face to affect this CSing. That's a little bit more diveable.
That's a good wave clear there from Impact. He does have his teleport, so he may take a back here, or he may he's going to throw down a ward and make sure that he's not. What is he doing? Oh, he's going for the honey fruit. There you go. Okay. Wow, that's actually a dangerous trip to make. That is really scary to make.
Delicious.
I believe he may have saw Rush on the control ward that's by the blue buff, so he knew that he wasn't going to get ganked.
They pinged him on Gromp.
Yeah, so he knew he wasn't going to get ganked there, that the Zac wasn't in the area, but that is still super risky because the Jace comes down and knows what's up.
You get a Zoe bubble through the wall. Zoe bubble.
Yeah, but Impact actually allows him to stay in the lane as Solo's taking it back now. And I believe that went over. Yeah, that went over to Phoenix. He's just in fog of war.
You know what? At least by 19 minutes, I thought we would have known if this was going to be like a Saturday Fox. Because it's not Sunday Fox yet, but it still could be. They could go 2-0 this week and not have the 1-1 kind of phenomenon happen once again.
Yeah, but it's against Team Liquid, who's #1 in the standings.
That's true. That would be the huge week to go 2-0.
Yeah, Team Liquid, though, it's been interesting because, Q lands.
Whoa, Jensen not looking good. Needing a little assistance, abducted back to the mid lane, but they haven't really thread too much damage into his HP bar just yet. Hakuo on the left, gonna hit a Winter's Bite, and upright. 3 points for Hakuo. And they're just gonna back off for this. 20 minutes coming up with Mountain Drake next.
Yeah, they don't get any summoner spells out of that either. It's just a big scuffle. No Rift Herald to take now. And they just get some pressure on the top side. They go in for the enemy blue buff. Might be the kind of the prize here that they get. They get priority for a little bit from Phoenix.
Oh.
See if they do anything with this.
Send a message to the blue buff. Flail backwards. Clear on the pink ward. They know they don't have too much control over their jungle. I think that's why Xmithy backed off so fast. Just in the wings here, though. He's going to have Phoenix right on the side of him. Still wants to try and get it. Beautiful job on the Scuttle Crab. Xmithy's going on Mission Impossible now. Core JJ and double lift for the Abyssal Voyage coming through. Rush gets taken down. He's going to have the passage, so it'll buy the team Fox a little time to run away on this. And it looks like they will not be able to contest a possible 20-minute Baron. It's been up for 30 seconds, so they're going to pressure this. Hakuo doing a run all the way from the bot lane with Apollo. They're trying to get there right now. Solo on the other side just used a Shock Blast, so he may not be able to get enough damage in now for when Baron goes slow. Phoenix in and out with the ultimate, and they're waiting. A great job by Fox is stalling Impact on this Baron. They're trying to get the kills instead of get that Baron down, and they are going to have to back off now. Beautiful job by Echo Fox. This one's going to fizzle out, and Baron will stay standing at 20 minutes in the game.
That was so scary. One of the big things about Team Liquid is when they get an advantage, they try to take everything off of that. And right there, that was, you have to be biting your nails if you're an Echo Fox fan going, oh my God, they just lost Rush, and are they going to lose pretty much the game off that? luckily for them, Phoenix, this Zoe is fantastic at stopping Barons, and they have so much poke. And Apollo needs that shield to stay alive.
He almost goes down immediately. Flash is still up for him, so you may not see too big of a play coming through.
Yeah, gotta watch out though. He's gonna go try to heal off of the Krugs. He has the Blade of the Ruined King. Doublelift just gets his ultimate back here, so if he can maybe combo
he can alt EQ easy. He's not gonna. I would have.
Yeah, is he gonna stay?
But then I probably died at his Braum coming up too.
True.
Yep. So looking at that fight one more time, we'll see the back and the forth. And TL played it well also, you know, not going for it, but keeping themselves safe enough to be able to back as it starts.
Yeah, that's a flash ultimate there from Smithy, right down the aisle, making sure that it's going to hit somebody. Ooh. And once again, fight on fight.
I like this. Kind of have al dente noodles in this fight. They're hitting a little harder. It's good, it's good. 22 minutes here, Shock Blast back. Good vision for Solo, lets him know that he will be alone in this battle. And he might have to back. Teleports up for both of those top laners, but Impact coming out with a win in that 1v1.
I am waiting for the Silas League game, but hold on.
Oh, double shockwave. Hakuo with the ulti up, just missing the coattails of Rush there onto the Glacial Prison from Xmithy, and it looks like they'll all get to safety. A lot of back and forth. Teams are testing each other, and they are not coming up with any kills right away, but they are able to work off that ball, as I said before, and get the side of the map. Impact doing some work against Solo.
And he's doing fantastically here, and I'm waiting for that level 16 to come through for Impact, because when he gets a massive amount of CDR, that hijack becomes a 15-second cooldown base. Then you add the CDR to it, so you're looking at something like 7-8 seconds. You could actually just become perma Jace for the rest of the game, because you see that ultimate cooldown that's ticking down around Solo's feet. By the time the Impact is done with actually hanging on to this ultimate, it's going to be back and ready to steal again.
Right.
Yeah, see, he could steal it again if he had it, so he could just be perma Jace for the rest of the game. You don't want to be Silas, you could be Jace.
But do you want to be Jace? You could, but have you taken the time to think about it? That's where you need to go next.
That's where you're like, man, I could play Jace, but I could play Silas. I could play anything. I could even play Jace.
Red buff to Doublelift. He is starting to absorb all resources on the map. He did go down quite early in this game. Even in the loss versus TSM, his Sivir was deathless. So definitely a bit of a mistake there. And I know Doublelift does not like that happened in lane for him to go down without Core JJ there. So he's righted the ship, and he's staying in a safe spot now as he farms.
Everybody talks about those Hakuho Qs, the Morgana Qs, the Thresh Qs, the Braum Qs. He's just really good at landing those things when it matters.
Hakuho in the know. Definitely has really good skill shot champions.
Where you going, Solo?
Solo's in a real sticky spot here. Wait, a good Glacial Fissure could stop this fight. Across the members through Tribe Rush. It's not going to be enough, but Rush comes in, tries to get 3 to kiss, and it's going to be 2. Impact gets himself to a good spot on the backside. Abducted back into the fight. A very interesting choice as they go up to the top side, chasing Rush past the Drake. This is going to be a good pickup if they can go back for Mountain. And I don't know if they're going to have enough. The 1-2, the miss. Impact still on the chase. They want this to happen as they're spreading Echo Fox thin. Turret's going to be too much for Impact to keep the chase going there, and it does not look like Drake will be happening here for TL.
No, especially since Phoenix is on this Zoe. He has so much agency. He can just keep poking. He's got a blue buff, so he has a lot of mana here. They'll see him starting this up, though. Everybody's kind of running away. We'll see. No, he's just clearing mid.
They're like, let's tempt them, we'll fight. Let's tempt them. Okay, commit to the fight. They're being very cautious. Ever since the Baron, they kind of don't want a repeat of what happened just at the top side in 20 minutes. So they are giving Echo Fox a bit of credibility here in these poke engages that Phoenix can really lash out on.
Yeah,
that Zoe hurts.
The poke is what you want to have set up here, but Core JJ is not letting that happen at all. They go after Solo. Solo has flash, doesn't flash over the wall, decides to commit into the fight instead, and it just becomes this big cluster fight here. Impact pulls him. I mean, it's so strange where he's like pulling people around, making sure that it's such a like all over the place fight where Rush is trying to get in, can't get out.
It's super brain tilting too to see somebody get abducted and the Zac running off, and you're like, wait,
that's not him. You're like, that was Impact.
Impact going ham. Well, he is really kind of getting into the nitty-gritty of Sylas here, finding the ults he needs to make an impact, making the right choices. When you play something like Sylas, it's a whole nother level of choices that you haven't had to consider in the game. And he's already onto that second nature path of play, and it's just 1, 2, 3. 102 for him. Looks like he's feeling good.
Yeah, it's funny when like Sylas can like undo ultimates, so like Rush pulls people in, and then he's like, okay, you pulled me in, I'll pull you in.
Let's go the other way.
Goes the other way. It's the same thing with Zed. He ulties you, you ulti him, and so you actually have the better ultimate. His champion has some really specific cases where it feels really bad to play against him or use your ultimate in a team fight. So now that he has the Zac ultimate, which also has a 90% AP ratio, so it will deal a decent amount of damage, feels really good for the Sylas. You just have to kind of figure out which one to grab in the fight in the middle of it.
That quick Zanya's build-up allows him to really take the ults to get him in. If he did have a few other ones, he's like, I can be in here. I'll be safe with my Zanyas.
Yep. Something that they have to watch out for, though, is Team Liquid, they have 2 Mountain Drakes, and so they could rush a Baron down if they got time alone with it. And now they're trying to have this split push for Solo, who's down a level. Woo. Oh. Phoenix has cleanse, so even if you throw an ultimate at him right now. Oh.
That's good HP for the fight. That's over 1,000 across Apollo and Phoenix coming in from Doublelift's True Shot Barrage. Apollo's Kai'Sa now backing along with Phoenix's Zoe so they can get a little bit of damage from range. It does not look like to go for the fight. Well, impact on this Sylas versus Solo's Jace. Once again on the box side of the map. Oh, the Abyssal Voyage is in. That's just rude. Three's a crowd. Solo's taking shots. He dips. He dodges. A beautiful escape by Solo as he gets 3 members of Team
Rush going in.
I don't think they see Rush just yet. Over the wall, he could get a good abduction behind the turret. Core JJ's locked up, and he is not in a place he wants to be. He takes the bad type of Abyssal Voyage to the death.
Oh, they gotta walk around.
Kill. Impact now being a body shield for Doublelift as he tries to get the safety. They are slowed by the Glacial Fissure. Doublelift just makes that alive. Looks like Impact's in the worst for where? Here comes Jensen. Here comes Xmithy. And that's a pickup for Doublelift. They are the chase of Hawkwar now. Certainly slowed, certainly dead. He might stay alive. Whoa! Going all the way through is Xmithy as he's drowsy under the turret, and they completely force Echo Fox even on their side of the map. Right off it.
Yeah, they just brute force their way in. Even though they ended up losing Core JJ, they still have primary damage available right now. Jensen comes into the fight later. And this, like you said, it was just rude. He shows up.
So rude.
It's like a 1v1. But nope. Here comes Core JJ.
Great from Solo, though. He is absorbing a lot of this pressure as well.
I mean, Solo's used to it at this point. It happens pretty much every game. People pick on him. But with the Tom Kench utilizing the ultimate over and over again, Core JJ's done a fantastic job of making sure he's getting those side lanes, making sure that Jace can't play the game he wants to play. It does cost Core JJ his life there, but then this bubble makes it so they have to walk around. It catches them both with Hawkwar's ultimate, and then Doublelift looks like he's going to be like pushed away. Then the ultimate comes across. A lot of damage came out there onto Apollo. He just drops, and then waiting for Hawkwar, trying to pick him up. It's just not quite enough.
And what an extended fight, too. A lot of the members of Team Liquid had to come through the jungle.
Yeah, these are going to be some tonky fights except this.
Oh, not too tonky on that one. Looks like he may stay alive. He is put him down, gets in. One more attack to come through. Doesn't look like Impact to be able to make it in time. Looking for an E. He will not be able to reach.
Doublelift ulti.
Oh, good block by Hawkwar.
Baby.
Instantly locked down. You could even see that Solo was waiting for that ult to come through as he took a back step towards the stairs of base. And now he's going to the fountain for safety. Get him back out. He's going to have some big damage coming through as well. 3-item chase, looking to get a little bit of Vampiric Scepter dealing in there so he can heal. Exactly what they need at this point. Pink boards all throughout the inventories. Echo Fox wants to be able to use them. They want to be able to get out of base, but that's the danger zone. Rush could be going down immediately. It's a lot of damage on Impact. There's that Zanya's that's going to keep him alive, but that's the focus as well for Fox as he is devoured. Impact is saved by Core JJ's Tom Kench. 30 minutes in, such a back and forth. Summoners being used at the start of the fight, so it's all about the abilities and when the cooldowns are coming up, pushed to the limits in each of these fights are the players on the Rift right now, and it looks like, again, they'll back off as they don't find that successful kill to start it off.
Drake, though? Is the Drake going to be what gets picked up here?
Xmithy is very healthy with that Warmox. He's able to get back in, really able to put up a fight, and it looks like we're going to have Echo Fox heading for Baron. Wards are there, and it will be knowledge for Team Liquid.
They're going to go for this? or are they gonna bait it?
Looks like the bait, they have enough pink wards up towards that top side. These are all the pink wards they just bought. Talk about a return on investment if they can get these to work, and TL already knows it's a bluff.
Yeah, and that's the ultimate from Doublelift, just checking. Even though Hakuo blocks it and it doesn't deal any damage, it still gives them the information they need. That they saw Apollo, he's not doing it.
Quick little plays, Xmithy tanky enough to be in there for these ward clears. And they do not have anybody working the solo lanes just yet. Looks like TL will take a moment to reset. Same for Echo Fox. 4 Drakes, and the ones you would not want your opposing team to have. 2 Mountain and 2 Infernal for Team Liquid currently, 30 minutes in.
It's been a slower game for Team Liquid. They've gotten these advantages, but it's a 4,000 gold lead for them still. These fights are so long. It ends up having reset fights almost over and over again. And now Impact, let's see, is he able to do anything against solo here? He does have the rank 3 ultimate.
Up in the mid, coming down the river. Missile Voyage is already activated. They're jumping down, and they're already there to party.
It's always a bait.
Try to get himself out. There's the ultimate base gate there or acceleration gate for everybody as Doublelift's going to get forward with that gauntlet and start the slow, start the tags, and that's going to be it. There's a sail on solo in the bot lane, and Doublelift's picking up more.
And they can't even do Baron at that time. That is so frustrating for Echo Fox because Solo just keeps getting picked on. He goes in, and it's never a one-on-one. There were 3 people down there, and Echo Fox can't get anything in return on the map.
At this point, he's like, come on, bro. Impact's just saying, this time, I promise. It's this time. Solo this time. Meet me at bot lane. Impact's now, this is what we were talking about before. They're able to do work off the objective. They can start spreading them a little bit thin. They don't see Impact at the current moment if he's not pushing towards the wave, but he is bringing up one hell of reinforcements in that minion wave as he gets to the turret.
Yep, this is just to buy time so that Impact can shove. Impact is making it to that turret. He does a decent amount of damage to it. He'll get this if left alone.
Yeah, he'll get it. They're not getting back yet, and Zoe looks like she could be the first, but they need that to poke onto Baron, and they're staying for the fight. They are allowing Impact to continue to do this damage. They don't have too many forward wards on the side of Team Liquid, so they can't tell if Fox is backing or they want into the fight, but down to 25% HP on the inhibitor, just to minions, as Impact already left.
And this game is when memes collide. It's the NA Jace versus NA Silas. One good, one bad. The NA Silas actually has been quite good from what we've seen in the LCS so far. And this is just another one where he got camped for, and he's still getting camped for in the later parts of the game. He can TP to this fight if he needs to.
Ooh, nice drowsy. Little extra damage.
And because these fights are so long, Xmithy has the Warmogs, and it's going to do work for him. It's going to work overtime, too, because he's just going to get poked. He's going to walk away. This guy has almost no magic resistance except for just his boots. So he's able to take some damage, has a ton of HP, and he'll just walk back, wait for it to heal. And those long engagements we saw that trail off, the Warmogs will kick in, and then he'll be able to take and engage on the back half of it. So this purchase for him is something that you expect Rush to eventually get. But right now he's looking towards a Gargoyle Stoneplate is what it seems like, for eventually getting in those fights and lasting long enough to pull people back, but it's still going to be hard to do.
Rush switching it up, going over to the Zac. Xmithy as well on the Lee Sins, the Gragas, the Kazakhs, the Lee Sins all across the season, but then back after the loss to the tanky champion in that jungle, the Sejuani, and they are clearing a lot of the map with this power right now. Core JJ and Jensen able to join any, Core JJ and Doublelift able to join any fight when they want to, if it's with Xmithy or Impact. It seems like TL didn't really get too shook off of that one.
Yep. And come back in, playing things slow, making sure the early game doesn't get away from them.
Rush not having too terrible of a game either. He's been in the right spot at the right time. Unfortunately, the team has not been able to capitalize on some of these fights. Banshee's Veil for Phoenix, so we can get a little crazier. And
that's a good takeaway.
Thank you very much, says Impact. That is a very good takeaway.
It's a really good takeaway for him. It's going to give him that experience. He was 2 levels up, now just 1 level up with being the first level 18 in the game. And are they going to we'll walk away?
I think they would have been more forward if they were able to get the Banshee's Veil on that one.
And this is a full court press here for TL. They're pushing the bottom lane with Impact, who's
there it is,
winning that matchup. Top lane has Jensen in it on the Orianna, just smacking the turret down as Apollo can't really do much about this by himself.
Jensen 2-0-3 still as well. Cleanse Flash in lane with the phase rush as he knew he would be punished over and over again, and he was pushed out of his lane constantly, and still just 20 steps down.
Solo goes in and he's like, where's Core JJ? Where is he? He's not there this time. They're in the Baron pit.
That would have been the fight they could actually take. Impact playing the double mind games now. So take your ults, also take your mental. Good Baron here for Team Liquid, and it looks like they'll be able to use this quite well. Looking at that 7,000 gold lead right now. Before they had the Baron, they were already starting to 1-3-1.
Yep, and once they get this pushed up, they'll be able to start going after that bottom inhibitor. Rush is on the backside. If Rush can get something done here, is already gone though.
Boy, that seems quite breakable to me. And it looks like Rush may be the next one. They got themselves into a real bad situation on the side of Echo Fox, and it does not look like they will be jumping over any fences to get home on this one. Impact picks up another kill. There's one for Double Lift as they start cleaning up the Fox Fur left on the Rift. It's on to Apollo, 1, 2, 3. And he's trying to finish his mission as he gets back to base. They'll be on the Nexus turret soon enough as they take down the middle inhibitor turret.
Yeah, and Team Liquid taking care of business. They got that Baron off the macro play, off the switcheroo, and then nobody was able to actually counter there, so they're going to try to take this one all the way to the Nexus.
And this is exactly what Team Liquid fans wanted to see coming back into Week 5. A win from their team, an 8-1 Team Liquid as they move on in the LCS.
Finish the first half of the round robin with just a single loss to their name. Cortez like, bring it in, guys, come here. A team actually functioning very well. It was that mid game that had some hiccups to it, but against a poke comp, it's pretty excusable, I would say, because Phoenix was doing a good job. If you start up objectives, they're gonna poke you off. Impact was the person in the side lane who got the better of Solo every single time, making that Jace go 1-4-0. And then Core JJ and Double Lift just kept showing up over and over again. He was scarred by that. He went in with a Q.
One time he ran.
Yeah, he went in with a Q and he was like, he's gonna be here. He was like trying to almost bait the Tahm Kench to do it again and then run away, but it just wasn't that time. They had gone to the Baron, and Impact wasn't actually baiting for another kill.
It's great because you usually, as a player, stay away from those tendencies. You're like, I could do it 3 times, but they'll expect it a 4th time. Impact's like, I'm going to implant this into your head so you think it's always going to happen. Across the Rift, though, those things became easy for Impact because the rest of the team was playing to par and even better. Good rotations from Core JJ. One time Double Lift got caught out, though, so definitely a mistake he knows in his mind that he fluffed off, was able to keep going. Props to Jensen as well for getting bashed in that mid lane and coming back, which also is a thumbs up to Phoenix. Like you said, he continues to play very well for the team.
Yeah, Phoenix still 20 CS up at the end of the game, and he's got a 1-0-0 score line. It's just getting him involved and having the team kind of play around what he's able to do, or even landing more of those skill shots come mid-late game, you know, would have a much greater impact for his champion. But they really weren't able to do too much with the rotations that were happening from Core JJ and with the pressure that Impact had off the fact that the Jace was put behind early. That matchup seemed to be a little bit better for Sylas than it should have been on paper because it seemed like Solo wasn't being as aggressive enough early, didn't have like a good 2v2 jungler for him, and Xmithy visited that top lane and gave Impact a nice lead.
Yeah, he did. Xmithy back on the tanky jungler seemed to go well for Team Liquid. To hear more about that game, Avli is standing by with Team Liquid's River King.
Thanks, Riv. I am here with Core JJ as well as assistant coach Dodo to help us with translations. Core JJ, congratulations on the win. With this win, you have now played against everyone in the league. Did NA meet your expectations?
네, 처음에는 이제 너무 잘 풀려가지고 이대로 진짜 전승까지 하는 거 아닌가라는 생각했었는데 오히려 한번 깨지고 나서 더 경각심 가지게 됐고 더 열심히 하게 된 계기가 된 것 같아서 그래서 일단 첫 주차 1라운드 다 끝났는데 일단 좀 흥미로운 것 같아요.
Yeah, so we had a really great start. So I thought we were going to even go undefeated in this season. But after the 1 loss against TSM, I think that was a wake-up call for us. And it was a reason why we had to try more harder. And then for the first round of the split, I think it went well. But it was very interesting.
Now, earlier when I asked you about Double Lift, you told me that playing with him almost gives you courage. So what's it like playing as his support in the bot lane together?
이제 더블리프트 선수랑 같이 하실 때 더블리프트가 이제 용기감을 준다고 하셨는데 이제 같이 하시니까 좀 어떠신 것 같으세요?
일단 피터가 항상 이제 자신감에 가득 차 있고 내가 여기서 이 지역에서 내가 짱이다라는 자신감이 있기 때문에 저도 약간 그거에 힘입어서 그럼 나도 짱이다라는 생각으로 게임할 수 있는 것 같아요.
Yeah, so Doublelift always has this mindset where, so I'm the king of NA. So it affects me as well. So I'm also the king of NA as well for the support. So it just gives me courage, gives me a lot of pride.
That's so sweet. Well, Dodo and Core, thank you guys so much and congratulations again. And for more in the game, let's hear from the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, Avali. TL bouncing back strong from their loss last week against TSM with a solid win here over Echo Fox. Not necessarily running time trials, but they also don't need to with the composition that they picked up for them this time around.
Yeah, and looking at the composition, I think the biggest part to me that was on display was their use of the Tom Kench. Core JJ was interviewed for a reason there, constantly going to the side lanes to help the Silas out in the split push versus the Jace. They're controlling the objectives, slowly getting some side pressure.
And I think the Silas was interesting for me because the way Impact built him, it was still more of a frontline tanky Silas. Like, you do end up getting damage. You have Azanias. It's not quite a straight tank, but you still have a lot of... What?
What?
I don't know what just happened.
I don't know why Kobe laughed. It's just not pure tank. And so I think, you know, you have more flexibility. You can play to it and use these Tom Kench ults, which is a nice added layer to their team.
Yeah, it's definitely not pure tank, but I think that one of the things that really made me like this champion for Impact was that you can be playing it in a similar way in team fights, right? You can actually be controlling zones of space. You can be using the spammable E to be constantly putting up the shield. He has Spirit Visted pretty early on, so massive heals with the Kingslayer, with the W. So he's actually creating a lot of space for the team, and I think it worked well for him. It was also really nice to see after some of the criticism that was levied toward the Yorick pick and Team Liquid last week against TSM, that they picked this for Impact. It looked good for him, and they played well around the pick, utilizing the Tom Kench, and I think it worked very, very, very well for him.
Answers some questions around, you know, what is there for Impact when Sion and Urgot kind of get taken out of the pool. Maybe Silas fits in well for them this time around. As we roll through some of the highlights of the game, what I want to discuss is the topic that we kicked the game off with, this idea that TL made some very uncharacteristic mistakes last week against TSM to kind of hand over advantages. Bad decision making followed by even worse execution. This time around, it wasn't the cleanest game, but how do we feel they've maybe assuaged some of those doubts due to the loss just last week?
For me, I don't think that they look any different than they might have looked last week. There were a couple extra mistakes. This game, Smithy started out
They don't look different than some of the Rift Herald fight that they chose?
Not that different.
Are you trolling?
Not that different.
I'm going to hard disagree.
I mean, their loss last week didn't convince me that there were fatal flaws with this team either. So, like, I never lost hope. So it's not like I gained more this time around or anything.
Yeah.
All right, but Azale, give me your take here, because there definitely were, you know, reasons to doubt this team in their decision-making last week against TSM. And even still, as Mark mentioned in the early game, there was a flaw or two out of Xmithy that made us think, oh, this might be going in the same exact direction.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing for me is why I just agree with Mark here. You look at those two clips that we showed in the intro, those were such poor decisions from the team that were essentially unlosable for TSM, and TL was choosing those fights with full information and walking into them and giving up really any chance of that game. This was maybe not the most impressive game ever, but they controlled all neutral objectives. They took every dragon, they took every baron, they played intelligently, or I think around their draft, shutting down Jace in a side lane, utilizing Tom Kench to help do that. I think they played to their win conditions. They played slowly. Yes, it wasn't super dominant. It's not the most impressive win, but this was miles better than the TSM game, which I thought was on par with the worst games we have seen of this split from any team.
Miles better than the TSM game, but I think where I go to next is, all right, fast forward to MSI, our first international competition. Typically, when you're looking at representatives who are coming in from their respective regions, what you want to be saying about a team and their prospects coming in is this team hard smashed their region in some fashion, right? Not they were just never in danger of losing. That's not the most inspiring way to talk about a team, so I'm still kind of waiting for that moment for Team Liquid in this split where they go to that next level of, okay, now they're dictating every moment of the game and absolutely hard smashing their opponents.
So for me, at least, I feel like Team Liquid is a team that very well knows themselves and very well knows what they want to do, heading to international events, and they have this standard formula that they want to execute, and they improved on it by adding Jensen, by adding Core JJ. So I don't think that there's going to be this big shakeup for Team Liquid anywhere down the road, and it is going to come down to these small decisions that they're making and how they're getting information. In this game, for instance, you're pointing out the early move by Smithy, where Jensen has no mana in the mid lane. He goes up a little bit too far, and then they realize, oh, we can't win this 2v2, but we also can't get away. So small things like that are the things that you want to clean up early, not necessarily like how the team operates as a whole.
And of course, with this Team Liquid win, Rush suffers a loss on the Saturday. So Mark, I know that tomorrow you're going to 100% predict Echo Fox to win, right?
Yeah, absolutely. One of these times he's gonna.
Do you even know who they're
I'm
playing?
gonna be there. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna be there
when Rush
I
loses.
say I was right, despite being wrong like 7 times before it.
I'll be there to say that he's wrong when he's wrong again.
That's what I'm waiting for. That does it for Game 2. When we return, Golden Guardians loads onto the Rift versus Clutch Gaming. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, without Jensen having mana, can he get the other one off? Good pop onto it. Smithy flash over from Phoenix. A silence over the wall. He's going to be drowsy. That's the attack. Rush finding himself in a peculiar position. He'll be locked up mid-jump and knocked down. Big Smithy's going on mission impossible now. Core JJ and double up for the Abyssal Voyage coming through. Rush gets taken down.
We are fighting. We are looking. We are looking. J4. Collapsing fight. Slowly. You can look fight. Slowly.
They got themselves into a real bad situation on the side of Echo Fox, and it does not look like they will be jumping over any fences to get home on this one. Impact picks up another kill. There's one for Double Lift.